Hello and welcome to the Week 3 Monster Pod presented by TheLines.com. Matt Brown, Steven Anders. Joined this week, Ryan Noonan from 4 for 4 if you haven't checked their stuff out. Ravens and the Cowboys. This is 1.5. We've moved to pick at one of the sites now, actually, here in this one. It's the ones are in favor of the Ravens on the road. 47.5 to 48 is our total. Ryan, the last time we saw both of these teams, they were losing, and one maybe a little bit worse than the other, or maybe not. I guess it all just depends on how you look at it. I am very curious about both of these teams moving forward. I was a little lower on the Ravens entering the season than market was anyway, and then now I don't want to have confirmation bias and then start to think that they're worse than they truly are. I don't think they're a bad team, but it doesn't help that they've started out the way that they have. And then the Cowboys last week, I said the game was over before basically it even started. So I don't know what we really saw in them. Who are these teams? What are these teams? And what do you see in this game?
I'm struggling with that too, Matt. I left both these teams out of the playoffs in our divisional previews over at Move the Line for 4 for 4. And I don't want to take a week 3 victory lap, that's for sure, but I don't feel terrible about it. Look, I mean, massive changes with the Ravens. When you pull out not just, I think we touched on it in week 1, not just the defensive coordinator, but 2 of his other assistants that went and became defensive coordinators in other spots. So in a team that felt like it just in terms of raw talent, looking at the depth chart, they massively overachieved last year in terms of their way to generate pressure. Secondary, they had injuries, it didn't seem to matter. Whatever Mike McDonald did, it worked for them. They were outstanding. And now you take all that away, and we're seeing that they're really struggling to generate pressure. Mm-hmm. You take out multiple starters along the offensive line, and you think, all right, we're just going to bring in Derrick Henry, and it's not going to really matter here because we're still going to be able to run the football and dictate tempo and all these different things. And it's a problem. I mean, Max Crosby won that game, right? Yeah. Christian Wilkins was a problem, but he was able to dictate that second half and absolutely flip that game on its head. Well, Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence are also pretty damn good. And I think that they could be problematic here too. So I also just don't really believe in the Cowboys. They cannot run the football. They still try to run the football, but they have no explosives. Zeke is just as dusty as you can get at this point. No missed tackles forced, no runs of 10 plus yards. They're not giving Rico Dowell any more work. So it's just a lot of pressure on basically a single combination with Dak and CeeDee Lamb. The good news here is that the Ravens have allowed a 68.4% success rate to opposing slot receivers this season, second highest in the league behind only the Commanders. They've given up a ton of explosives in the pass game too, almost double the explosive rate that they gave up last year through the air. So I think CD alts are interesting. Zay Flowers on the other side also can come back and work. He's going to see a ton of zone. His yards per route run against zone versus man coverage is like 1.5 yards higher. So he's going to eat here a little bit too. So maybe a prop angle with those 2 receivers, because I think both teams probably struggle to run the football. So maybe an underlook too. Again, just I'm not sure what these teams are. And the Ravens schedule, they get Buffalo next week too. I think it's in Baltimore, but that's tough. This Ravens opening schedule is pretty brutal. So I kind of want to wait and see what happens there. I want to play the prop angles instead of anything in the game.
Yeah, I think that there is a real chance this team is 0-5, and everyone is losing their mind. I mean, Dallas, Buffalo, Cincinnati, next 3 games. I took a little piece, and I don't expect it to get home because there are some really bad teams in the NFL, but I took a piece at a very, very long number of last winless team on Baltimore because they very well could lose these next 3 games, and then we'll see kind of what's going on there. But I mean, you're getting, if you're getting 80-1 on something like that, I mean, it's, I thought I'd take a snort on it. Do I think that they're going to actually be the last one? Probably not, but worth it, Steven. What do you think of these 2 teams? What do you think of this game in particular?
This Ravens start has made me so salty that Lamar Jackson won MVP last year with that nonsensical Heisman-like voting that we had. He was nowhere near the best quarterback in the league last year. I have a pretty simple philosophy when it comes to the Cowboys. When they play a bad team, I'm interested in betting on them. When they're playing a good team, I'm interested in betting on the good team. Mm-hmm. And this implies to me that the Ravens are 2.5 to 3 points better than the Cowboys on a neutral field, which I'm not sure anybody would agree with at this point. Like,
yeah.
So at plus money, maybe getting a point or a point and a half. I'm finger on the trigger for Dallas right now, to be honest with you, because of the O-line issues, because of the secondary issues with the Ravens. What's holding me up is that through 3 quarters, the defense was top 5 in week 2. And then the fourth quarter, they were bottom 5. So is that predictive? Is that just who they are over the course of a game? Or did they just have an unlucky fourth quarter against the Raiders? So this is the hardest game for me to handicap all week. But if you're in a pick'em pool or something and you got to make a pick, like it'd be Cowboys or nothing for me here.
Ryan, I think you kind of painted the picture pretty perfectly. Like, I just hate both of these offenses. So it's like, I just don't know. Like, I hate both of them. So I hate this game because I hate both these offenses. So tough for me to make a call there. Want to thank Ryan Noonan for joining us here. 4 for 4, guys. If you haven't gone over there, check out everything they do over the site. Been one of the staples for me for a very, very long time, as well as Steven. So be sure to go in, take in all the great work that they do over there. And if you are watching this on the YouTube channel, everything we do absolutely free. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and let us know in the comment section how terrible we were at picking some of these games. Like, we're always in for the criticisms, and let us know which sides that we're just completely wrong on in all of these things. Appreciate it, guys, and good luck on all your week 3 bets.